Stalemate. She knows I'm gonna grab her, but she wants the treat. What are you gonna do, Cooper? You gonna get the treat? How quickly can I grab you while videotaping? Just get close. Well, it was as low as 3 degrees earlier this morning. It's now 10 degrees, and I was able to start the diesel. I also have the ability to plug it in, which I need to do for tomorrow, because I got to use it tomorrow. But it did start, and not happily, but again, it's 10 freaking degrees and probably colder, because like I said, it got down to 3 at 6 a.m. So white car covered with white snow probably doesn't heat up very quickly. So off to work. Probably another cold night if the clouds don't 20 degrees. We're going to be moving some furniture and donating it, one to my daughter and one to Habitat for Humanity. So I'm going to get in here and shovel a little more. Moved a couch earlier this week. You can kind of tell where the feet ended. Being that it's cold, and any time it's below 20 degrees or below 30 degrees, I really ought to plug this in. There's a plug somewhere around there. I went have to dig around. I don't remember where it is. Anywho, that's cute. To do that, I could use that plug, but then I got to drag it all the way across here. Drag it across here. So I thought maybe it's time. It's been since 2016 since this outlet worked. Maybe 17. It's handy for starting the old snow thrower and other things. So for some reason I thought the wiring had a splice in the back, but it didn't. So I moved everything, looked at it, and put it back. It just goes direct wire. It goes to the outlet over there. I really need to paint that. And then I tried to reset the GFCI several times. It didn't work. Then I got out my meter, took it off, and sure enough, it got power there. The power's not an issue. So we're going to replace it with this one. This is a non-GFCI, so this just works. So then I saw this, and I thought, I might as well go clean it up in the kitchen. So I'm going to wash the kitchen brush. So we're going to go ahead and put this back together. Then we'll go ahead and shovel this. And I tried to shovel as much as possible over there. Since the stuff's in the kitchen, I'm thinking it's going to be easier than dragging it through there. And the steps here are pretty good shot, and they're wide. Well, not that they're not wide there, but anyhow, that speaker on the left seems to be more tilted down, or maybe the right one. I don't know. So anyhow, we'll get to this. Oh, it's snowing. Cool. This new outlet doesn't have stab where you just shove the wire in and tighten it. So I'm trying to. This is plugged into the outlet that shares the same feed. So I'm trying to turn them all off, and the light keeps going on. Well, that's because I got a headlight that refuses to turn off. And I've been charging it, and I just haven't got around to trying to figure it out. So that's a bad way of determining whether or not you have the right outlet. It's probably that charger right there for the motorcycle. So let's turn these back on. I turned everything off. It was still on. We're staged here for easy installation. This is the headlight that I bought a few years ago that I barely used, that refuses to turn off. And every time I plug it in, it starts charging the light. Probably doesn't help. So, if I remember correctly, I just unscrewed the battery. I gotta figure this one out. It's really annoying because I spent a fair amount of money for it. It'd be nice if it just worked right here. All right, we got 2 lights on and we got a working ground, so that's good. I think the way this works is it lights up. There's no ground because I don't know how that works. Because you can have an open ground. Somehow these are wired because LEDs are diodes, light emitting diodes, hence the LED. But they're also diodes, so electricity only flows in one way. But then this is AC. Nobody understands how this works. I'll have to Google that. If it was DC, it'd be easy. You would just sense that. Anyhow, we got a cord out. Having a hard time thinking. I'm still sick. I've been sick since Monday. Extremely tired earlier this week. Now I have a sore throat, drippy nose, congestion. Feel like shit, but not as bad. I mean, it's not as tired, but I don't feel good. The brain's not fully working either. That's at some point somebody backed a vehicle into this. I think it was Sophia. You should see how that's all cracked. I have spare pieces downstairs in the basement. So someday, maybe when I repaint it, I'll replace that. Okay, so we got that plugged in. These covers are nice because they pop out and they're still weather tight. I could tell by the amount of crap inside the box it wasn't that weather tight. Let's see if we still got all the LEDs here. And we got no LEDs. And we got LEDs. So now we just have to figure out where the old plug thing is. Yeah, this is working out perfectly already. Because the pluggy thing, which I think is down here, doesn't have a very long tail because you don't want it flopping around. But it's got a plug in an outlet like that. I have another longer extension line, but it has a 3-tap on the end. So, yeah, I'm gonna spend a few minutes and dig around here till we find the freaking plug. I was laying down there to take that license plate holder off that I don't need anymore. Might have more room, but it just barely fits. So we'll let that heat up. We'll go ahead and shovel this bad boy out. And I think my assistant's coming. Sophie's boyfriend, Kylan. He's going to be getting one of the things. Well, they are. I figure out what we're going to be moving. So this is going to go to Kylan and Sophie's new apartment. This, unfortunately, is from those, because the coffee maker people in it sometimes leak. Plus, I don't think the floor is exactly straight there. It's kind of got a... this is all in preparation for the cabinets. And I didn't put strips of wood in here like I did all the way around there to there. For cabinets. I think this is 16 on center here, but I don't know about over here if it's 16 on center. So what I might have to do is get extremely lucky and find, but then I got some cabinets that are only 18, so 23 probably gonna fit in the middle here. I haven't checked out my stud finder yet. Probably can tell by the wave. I think there's one here. I think there's one here. Anyhow, worst case, over here I can stuff some wood from the behind, but I may just channel out all the way across the drywall, cut the pieces in, use pocket screws on the sides, which will go flush once they're driven in, and then I'll have a continuous one around there. So yeah, there's that. I think I'm going to use the chicory, put a 2x4 across here, put the cabinets, rest them up. That way the weight's on the 2x4s, you're getting them straight, and then you can adjust them a little bit without having 3 people, or since I probably have 1 people. I'm going to dismount the TV today for sure in the pictures. I also don't know what height. I think I want to start them here, but I don't know if they're that tall. They should be. Yeah, 30 inches. We'll just take our fingers there. Yeah, they're the same height. And I think at the top, all I'm gonna do is put a nice piece of wood all the way around, and then she can just plop things up there. So similar to this, but not like that, because we're gonna have that huge distance there. Of course, the ceiling's coming down to match this height at a later date. I had the wood to do that. I just haven't done it because we haven't picked up the ceiling tiles yet. It'd be nice if they were the same width, but I don't know why it matters, because it doesn't matter. I should just go do it. Anyhow, then when this is put up there, that will help upstairs heat, because the heat right now is going this way and that way. And then with that's in there, it'll go that way. Because it is radiant heat. This actually is the right insulation because it's foil, and it pushes radiant heat, or blocks it. Hey, okay, well that's the thing, so we'll wait for the boyfriend. And you can see what I mean, just shoot straight out. We'll go ahead and move the table and stuff. And we're waiting for my helper. I am getting to the point where I want to start working on this. Two things holding me back is the second car lift that's going to come out to here. That'll give me a couple things. Maybe I already mentioned this, probably. It's long enough I can put the truck on there, get underneath the truck, clean the rust off, rust-proof it. It sorely needs that. It's at the stage where a couple years and we just get rid of it. Also need to find a new home for this. But this project's first. Then I can move this out, put the truck up there, work on the truck, and then I can store this up here and have a lot more room here. This is going to give me the ability to work on bigger projects, like bookshelves in the living room, so I just have more space. Anyhow, so facilitate that, many years ago, I decided, when I took the battery, one of the good batteries out of that truck and put it in here, I should probably put on a, trickle charger. So I did. I did put on the trickle charger. And everything was going fine until one day I ran over the trickle charger. I'm not quite sure where it is, but it's in two pieces. Well, you can kind of see here. Here's the end. Oh, the other end is. Anyhow, so I bought a new trickle charger. She's got a happy face on her. I should read the instructions. This is not requiring a lot of brain power. Just slowly apply power over time. But what I had in the past was a little short extension cord. I don't know where that went, or maybe I plugged this into there, which I think led to its demise. I think I dropped something on there. It's just like an outlet kind of thing. It's in here someplace. Yes, we have a new battery charger for our new Forge batteries that actually have a fan built in. I was excited to replace those two with this, and so a couple problems. One, it sticks out like a mile, and two, it doesn't have an M12 charger on there. So I think I'm going to downsize one of those, and I got to figure out where to mount this behemoth. You can tell it's a little bigger. So right now it's mounted right here. So somewhere in here I think is a battery charger. Anyhow, it's just a flat plastic thing that got some motion. Electrical components are not whole anymore. Is this it? Yes, this is it. Yes. No, that's the good one. I don't know. It looks just like this, except it's broken. This one I use on the green car, which I should probably also do. Yeah, this has a detachable thing here. So anyhow, where am I going with this? Oh, yeah. Found this extension plug, which would be handy. And I wanted one that didn't do an offset or anything, because it's going to plug in straight and go right into that plug down there. Just a straight plug. Except it doesn't have any end on there. So then I found this box. This is going to give me a little more substantialness. So when I stand on it, maybe I'll stand on this and not break the other side. This one has a cord on there, so I should be able to shove that underneath there. Anyhow, that's the story. That's a long-winded story, but here's the story. I'm going to clean this off again. The only issue is now I got to go open the hood and put it over there. And I think I got to crawl underneath. The hood actuator is sticking. And I got to move all this stuff. So we may delay this because I don't feel like doing that right now. But I'm closer. Well, I've got 13 volts with the charger on. I got 11.7. So the battery's not completely dead, despite being a never start from Walmart. 2014, 1114. think that's November 14. So not in a brand new battery. So we'll go ahead and just leave that on there. Unfortunately, because I bought the cheapest charger I could buy, the cable's not that long, so actually it only gets about there, the power. So this did open up, by the way, with the latch down there. I didn't have to reach underneath down there and pull anything, which is what I didn't want to do. So we'll go ahead and, you know, put all the shit back on top of the hood as you're not supposed to. Somebody may have noticed I've got a new set of these. These were on sale for $29. I like these because they're 6 point, not 12, so they're less likely to round over bits. You can put a wrench on them because of the flat side. They don't roll because of the flat sides, and you can clearly tell what number they are. Also, it's a complete set, meaning it goes 10 to 19, doesn't skip it. They get to the weird 16 and 18 to 17. And also got this. These are really flat sockets. Here again, you can put a wrench on them, but also they're very low profile. These are Astro tools, and they have a nice holder. So these will go down there as soon as I rearrange things. That's the old one for the BMW. Another fun fact is when you put that on 2 volts DC, it doesn't register 12. I was watching because I was just going to hook up the wires that I had dangling, but at first I needed to find positive, negative, which is why those are stripped, and I took the end off that was broken. But it kept like going to 0. And then when I put it over here, I realized it still goes to 0 when it's on the battery with the charger on that had the happy face. So then I flipped it to 20, and then it showed 12 volts, which you saw before. So that was fun. Okay, I had to go throw some boxes. These are a new lithium pouch battery, and a couple things it does is, one, it holds a lot more power in a smaller package. This is similar to the 6 size, but it's equivalent to a 12 amp hour. Also, they charge completely in 45 minutes. They got these cool little LEDs. There's a bunch of LEDs because this has the ability to cool these little holes here in the battery while it's charging. So it's it charges much faster. The batteries last a lot longer. Also, I've already had one battery fail. That was my first battery, but my stuff's getting to be 10 plus years old. So they're going to be failing. So this was on sale. These are normally $500, this package. It was on sale for $200. So that's why we did that, which also, I believe, led to some other tools that came for Christmas gifts. But that's another story for another day. Anyhow, yeah, cool cycle. Just don't know where to mount that bad. Well, we're loaded up, and I got my lap warmers with me. I just got a text that they left the safe zone because they all have their GPS collars. I've had to recharge them once this week, so it lasts about 2 weeks, which is fine. So we got everything loaded. Can't see shit. Checking out my blanket. She seems to be flopping. Yeah, she'll hold on. We're gonna go to Habitat for Humanity to Randall, drop off the big buffet, and Caitlin's gonna see if Caitlin's supposed to see if he wants anything there. He needs a dresser and a wardrobe, I guess. Then if that doesn't work, we'll go to the one on the west side. Take a look around there. That's where I got Joe's humongous 6-foot-long desk, weighing 2,000 pounds. I kid, it was only about 400. Anyhow, and then we'll drop this off at her house, and I got some estate sales to go to. There's at least 1 or 2 that I'm really looking forward to, so we'll see. Tower for Humanity on the west side, and I checked this bad boy out. First of all, she's been oiled, but lots of room for records. It's your speaker box. She's not an Edison, she's not a Victoria. My God, she's in great condition. Look at this little notepad. But even more impressive is got some instructions. May Company used to be a department store in Cleveland, but it plays Edison. Edison, the music grooves go up and down, versus Victor, which goes sideways. So apparently this has the ability to play both. Wow. Look at that bad boy. Now this should just hang. Normal, slow, that's your brake. So how do you, you change the needle. Interesting. And of course, it's got the crank. Yeah, that's not spinning right. Anyhow, that does. Might be for volume control. Beautiful. She just took all the toys and made a little nest because they're new. They taste different. One of those was supposed to be Moxie's, but she stole it from Moxie twice. She's a beast. First step here is to figure out what height to put the cabinets, the lowers. So I got my trusty spinning laser out. So it looks like about an inch, eighth of an inch lower than that. So this doesn't have to be precise, of course. So we'll go ahead and mark over here, a couple places with the magic marker. So we'll go this level. Guess I still got some wiggle on my floor. I got a steel beam right through here. Of course, the wood moves things too. If I step there because the wood's strong. Found that upstairs in my garage. Sometimes you can feel people walking, and it wasn't that way before I put the floor in, but the floor's so stiff it just transmits the force or freight. This was $9 on sale. I'm going to use it to spray the polyurethane on the metal tiles for the living room. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's time for this girl to get a little bit of a trim. She's looking a little long in the tooth. Maybe that one. I just brushed her. She likes to get brushed, which is ironic because normally they don't like that. Do you? But you do, don't you? Time for a little cutty? It's a little better. I don't do a lot because I don't know what I'm doing. Just kind of even things up. Just a little trim. Not a haircut, just a trim. Couple estate sales. Spent like a total of $15. So this is a yearbook from Hiram College from '96. It's just interesting because some of the pictures, that was the dorm before they converted it. The old post office, that's a really old one. Don't recognize those people. So anyhow, it'll be entertaining. It's 50 cents. This is quite, it's 3-disc SACD. So it's a high quality, but it's a hybrid, so it'll play in a regular CD player. And it's just the previous, I think that's the current guy. The Cleveland Orchestra guy, 2019. Yeah, so we got some Beethovens, Strauss, Pearl, I can't even pronounce that. Anyhow, it was like $3. Then a whole bunch of CDs. Somebody's gonna be on, this is another Super RDO CD. It's a Bruce Springsteen. I'm trying to get all the Bruce Strings things for my wife. There's somebody else I'm buying CDs for. We'll talk about that later. So I got some good jazz ones. Diane Krall, Porgy and Bess. This is a Verve. I like that. Another Teller, Christmas Time. Haven't seen that one. Ray Charles, Blues, 10,000 Maniac, Campfire Sounds. I've been looking for that for years. Got that for $1. Captain and the Kid. Joe says we don't have we have too many Elton Johns, but we didn't have that one. Etta Jones, Michael Jackson, History, Billie Holiday, always a classic. What else we get? Oh, this might be a woman's, but it's an Orvis raincoat, XL, but it fits me, so I think not that it matters if it's a woman's or man's. It's a raincoat. It's got some nice pockets on there, and sometimes I get rained on. So I have a feeling Joe will be wearing that a lot more than me. It's got drawstrings. That was $10. But then if you spent $50, it was only $25. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. These are the ones we're definitely going to keep. Then because I was at like $30, I bought some Fiesta wear. You might see a theme here. That's green, red, green. I don't think I need to repeat, but I think Joe will like these for holiday snacks. For the holidays, because it is the holidays. And I should pack those. So yeah. Then I got an edger, but it's one that she can use because it's got like, it's a foot mount. See if I can, I have it outside. I'm not going to give it to her for Christmas. I just got it for her. It's right there, but you can't really see it. But anyhow, you put your foot on top of it. And then it's got a blade underneath. So it just kind of cuts straight down with the blade and the foot piece. So because it's foot powered, it's easy to do. Now watch for the landmines that I need to clean up. Anyhow, so that's pretty good sales. The one I thought I was going to, I guess, was only Thursday and Friday. He's got weird hours. Michael, I forget his last name, but he's the guy that does the really high-end stuff in Cleveland. And I thought I would go on Sunday, but apparently I needed to be there Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Well, I imagine the new cabinets are also 30 inches, so I'm gonna get the the tripod out and put it up on here and get it 30 inches and mark the top. So the next step after that is gonna be measuring out how far I'm gonna go, and then I gotta cut the drywall out. Hopefully it ends somewhere around here, and then I gotta put in those wood blocking all the way around. Now over here I got a problem because, well, it's not terribly. So the first cabinet ends right about here. It's 24 inches from the corner. But the problem that I'm gonna have is that there's an air duct here. I should be able to see, it should be right around there, I guess, because there's a pipe overhead. That's the return line from the master bedroom. Then there's an air duct. Trying to get out. Up here, that I think comes right there, that is used for the cold air to go to the master bedroom. I gotta check over here. I thought I saw lines. So I have a picture of the wall before we drywalled it. Unfortunately, it's from like over there. And it was really to measure out if we built how far out things would be, because I wanted like 3 feet from here to here. So it's literally just a tape measure out, just giving the example, because originally we were going to do a built-in thing here, which obviously we're not doing. So yeah, there's that. It actually floats, so it can deal with some off axes, little beeps. But I got it pretty close. So I'm shooting obviously for the top of that cabinet there and across. By the way, I noticed my cabinets are levelish, like right there. Then it comes down like this. It tells me that the wall's kind of like that. And then over there, well, you can probably see this row of cabinets. I don't know how I got that established and then completely off. Someday when I'm bored, I'm gonna remove everything from these cabinets, put a jack underneath here, loosen the screws, jack it up, which is why this is gonna close up, because it's sticking out too far. That was, I knew when Dave and I put this back in that I was gonna have to rearrange this. When that's all done, then I'll put some actual screws in there to hold the wall together. Just got the screws here, I kind of fucked up there, dug out a little too much. Yeah, we had to widen, or not widen, make this less wide to fit the refrigerator. The floor is not exactly perfectly level, neither is the cabinet, but anyhow, most of the time people don't notice that. But yeah, this is on my list. This may get done in the next 2 weeks. This has been bothering me for 10 years. Anyhow, gotta go up a little bit further. So I got it pretty darn close to there, and I'm just trying to get macro things. So basically, I'm gonna do 2x6 will be 5.5 inches from there. And then I marked over there and over here. Obviously, got to move these pictures; they're right in the way. So definitely going to be doing some upper level stuff. So basically, I want like this section here, so I can screw that in there. Fortunately for this end cabinet, because again, I can't go put anything here. There's a 2x4 right here in the corner right here. So, and the cabinet isn't like this, like some are in corners. It goes all the way to the corner. So I'm gonna be able to shoot carefully some nails, well, screws in there. not terribly concerned about the bottom. I will mark where my my studs are. Like there's one here, I assume. I gotta take this outlet out. And I think I'm just gonna leave these outlets in there. I don't know if that one's gonna be in the way. I forget how far the cabinets go, but definitely over here and over here, I'm just gonna expose those inside the cabinet. So if I ever need electrical, then I'm just gonna add more electrical. Over here, I got the advantage of the wall still being open. So as long as it's from here to there, I'm gonna move all this stuff out here. So, I mean, assuming that the outlets are here, I'm pretty good all the way to the corner. It looks like I got about 7 feet. So I think I want just, I don't know what I want. I think I want a quad and a quad and maybe just one quad over here. This hopefully will become one of those things where you put the mixer and mount it inside and it just springs up. Because she was complaining it's hard for her to lift her mixer, which of course I'm like, well, why do you have such a heavy mixer? But that's not something we're gonna go into. So yeah, you can tell either my laser's not level or my wall's not level. Actually, it's the wall. They built this entire house tilted to the old floors. It's crazy. Okay, anyhow, next step is to demo and put in those strips.